Once
Gotcha.
I understood and discovered that crypto is the next asset class, man, I had to transition my content to focus on this new asset class so that we don't miss this opportunity, because this time around, no one can keep us out. If you have a cell phone, a laptop, any device that has access to the internet, you can access crypto.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag.
What's up? What's up? You are now listening to FY Fly the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to.
What's up, my FY Fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FY Fly podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, aka the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today, we're going to be chopping it up with financial guru, NFT and the Metaverse enthusiast, Dr. Hans, aka The Investing Tutor. How are you, boss man? How are you?
Brother, doing very well. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to chop it up with you to discuss NFTs, money, crypto, metaverse, anything that your audience would love to get from me today.
Yes, sir, man. We're going to jump right into it because here at FY Fly, we really like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff, my man. First off, what was it about NFTs that made you transition your content? Because when I first started following you, it was majority, investing content. But I saw the switch, I say about 2020, maybe early 2021, that you got into those NFTs in the metaverse. So what caused that transition for you?
Yeah, the thing that you would understand about people in our community as underrepresented groups is often we miss out on opportunities to build a tremendous wealth because we get in late, right? Where companies like PayPal, Apple, Google, you could invest in Amazon, you can invest in any of these companies. Yeah. Well, guess what? One, we didn't know about it. Two, you needed a lot of money to get a financial advisor to be able to access the stock market, right? Back then, they were even called stockbrokers. You needed a stockbroker to access the stock market. Yeah. So once again, we were kept out. So for me, I've been paying attention to what is going to be the next thing, the next asset class. And I want to make sure we don't miss it, right? So once I understood and discovered that crypto is the next asset class, man, I had to transition my content, a majority of it, not entirely, but majority of it, I'll say about 80-85% of it, to focus on this new asset class so that we don't miss this opportunity, because this time around, no one can keep us out. If you have a cell phone, a laptop, any device that has access to the internet, you can access crypto.
100%. I'm so glad that you took it there, because I always like to say, whenever we're not educated on something, we fear it. So I think that's also something in our communities when these new technologies come about and we're not educated on them. We don't even want to jump in because we have no idea, and we're used to, being scammed, or we're used to being tricked. And you can't really blame us because, like you said, we was, systemically kept out of housing, systemically kept out of, higher paying jobs. So, and I believe it starts with the knowledge. So if you had to explain like the metaverse and the overarching, Web3, this new world, how would you do that if you had to explain it to like a 8-year-old, like a little brother, little sister, somebody of that age? Could you explain it for us?
Yeah. So I wouldn't specifically hyper focus on metaverse, because metaverse is almost like virtual reality. I would focus on the asset class that brings us the wealth, because and I guess we can also kind of briefly touch on metaverse, but so it's almost like crypto, NFTs, metaverse, right? Web3 also. Yeah. So the way to think about it is Web 1 was mainly accessing the web via being able to read content on the web and also to write content. Okay. Almost like
blogs and
exactly. Right. That was the original web. Web 2 was where apps came into play. and we could interact with apps. So any app from like, Facebook to Uber, things of that nature. So now not only do we read and write, but we can, interact. Web3, not only are you reading, writing, being able to customize, create your own content, which Web2 allowed you to do, right? Creating content. Web3 allows you to own, and that's powerful.
Okay.
You see, the internet as we know it, the only thing you could own in Web 1 and Web 2 is a URL.
Got you.
Many people don't realize that. The only thing you can say is yours is a URL. You couldn't claim ownership to something on the internet besides URL.
So like even our content now with Web 2, we don't even own that. Like Instagram and Facebook owns that, correct?
Absolutely. You don't own anything on Web 1, Web 2 outside of a URL if you purchased it.
Got you.
What crypto does is it allows for the creation of digital tokens which can demonstrate or prove ownership.
Okay.
Because you can have a token and that token can be assigned to content, or that token can be assigned to property, or that token can be assigned to images. And all of a sudden, there is now a way to track ownership of things on the internet. So Web3 is about ownership. It is taking our baseline of Web 1, Web 2 with read and write and websites and blogs and all of that to apps, applications, the ability to create on Web 2. And now we're layering in ownership. That is why I'm incredibly bullish about this technology and why I'm trying to get as many people as possible to understand this is huge. So if I could simply kind of break it down to an 80-year-old, I would say this. Crypto is, the main digital money that we're going to be using on the internet.
Digital currency. Okay.
Exactly. The digital money. The tokens is going to be used to pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? The tokens is going to be used to show ownership of anything.
Okay.
And that's where NFTs come into play, non-fungible tokens. So the tokens will be used to demonstrate or prove ownership. Okay. So the currency is the digital money. The tokens will prove ownership of assets, right? And the metaverse is this digital world where then we can build stuff, we can create stuff, we can interact with other people, we can work, and it's almost like a different version of our physical reality.
Makes sense. Like that augmented reality and VR and all those different aspects go into the metaverse.
Yes, it's a digital replica of the world.
Wow. I love the way that you broke that down, because it does get confusing, especially for someone who, isn't knowledgeable about this world. So it definitely can get confusing. So for that person, where would you say the starting point is? Would you say first get knowledgeable on crypto? Would you say first get knowledgeable on the NFTs? And where would you say the first starting point is?
Get knowledgeable about money. People wake up every single day. They drive or commute to work so that they are able to make or earn money. But they don't understand what money is, right? You ask the average person, what is money, right? Or how do you make more money? Most people say, oh, work more jobs or work more hours. No, that's not how you make more money, right? The first thing people want to do is understand money. If you understand money and you understand how to make more of it, once you understand these two things, your life transitions because you stop viewing money as something you need to trade your time for, and you begin to see money as something that you can acquire and build wealth with by investing or providing value to the world in a very powerful way. And it's transformative. So if a person starts there, understanding money, once they understand money, it's going to encourage them to also understand investing, because that's how you grow money. Gotcha. Once they get into investing, naturally they'll find their way into crypto, because unless an individual does not want to be able to build exponential wealth. But if you do, right, you're going to understand that, okay, I need a retirement account with my employer. I need a brokerage account so that I can buy investment funds and stocks. And I need a crypto account so that I can position myself to own digital wealth. We all know and understand that wealth, or if I should say the world, is moving or shifting and becoming more digital.
For sure.
So why do you think money wouldn't become more digital, or assets wouldn't become more digital, or wealth wouldn't become more digital? Wouldn't you want to, move in that direction ahead of everyone? And that's why I keep kind of emphasizing this.
And that makes complete sense, because when you look at it, we got Apple Pay, where you can pay people with Cash App, other forms of paying people. Everything is becoming digital. And Absolutely. When you see these big companies, you see these big government organizations back crypto and they're backing the metaverse, my thing is, who's going to stop that? Like, whenever, some people in our community be like, oh, I don't care about no crypto. I don't care about no metaverse, da, 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 da. My thing is, when you have these big companies, nothing's going to stop them. So by your limited mindset is only going to hurt you. This world is coming. It's already here.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the old folks that used to say, oh, I don't care about a smartphone, right? I'll just use my Nokia. Right? That's not how the world works. Even if you choose to ignore crypto, you can do it for maybe the next 15 years, 20 years. Eventually, you'll be pushed in because that's just how innovation evolves, right?
Exactly.
We used to use dial-up, where you had to literally dial a number and it rings and you hear all of this clanky noises to connect to the internet.
Yeah.
Now, Wi-Fi. Look at where we are.
Come on.
To speak with relatives back in Ghana, just 15 years ago, I had to use a boss calling card. Okay? Boss calling card. You buy it $5 and you can speak for 20 minutes for $5. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, you pick up your phone, you can use your FaceTime, you can use WhatsApp, you can use it's free. It's free.
And only 15 years of a difference, man.
15 years. So anyone who says, oh, this crypto thing, I don't care about it, look at how that played out. A majority of wealth, a majority of wealth in the US was built using real estate, because real estate pricing back in 1950 was $2,000 per house.
Yeah.
And you can Google it. Anyone who thinks this is inaccurate, $2,000 could get you a medium, a middle class, home.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Today, the average middle class home is about $400,000. That is just equity that has been built for decades. Many of us, in the Black community and as underrepresented groups and other immigrants, many people don't own homes. And as a result, they've missed out on this equity, right? Imagine the people who, unfortunately, we were kept out. But imagine people who were saying, no, I'm not going to buy a home. A home isn't, look at what it's been able to do. Exactly. So in the same way, we need to look at this new asset class and pay attention and make sure we don't miss out.
100%. Because it's kind of like getting on the early grounds of Bitcoin, getting on the early grounds of Facebook, Amazon. I definitely believe that it's the same way, kind of. So I agree with you 100%. I love it, Doc. I love it, Doc. Thank you so much for joining the FY Fly podcast. Man, if you have any final words, please let the audience know where to reach you. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, you all, thank you so much. Brother, thank you. It's been an honor.
For sure.
So for people who want to connect with me, Instagram at The Investing Tutor, and I'm sure it will be in the podcast notes. Please note, I don't DM people. There are a lot of fake accounts out there. And my website, once again, it's www.theinvestingtutor.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much again. And Doc, I know you have to go, but I had one question about drip. I wanted to see if I could ask you that one question before you left.
So dividend reinvestment plan, right? It is an option in your investing apps where it allows you to opt to reinvest your dividends. If you are starting as a new investor, always drip, meaning turn drip on, so that instead of being paid tiny amounts of money that won't do anything to your livelihood and your lifestyle right now, reinvest that money now so that in the future, in 10, 20, 30 years, that dividend that will be paid will be much larger. So for most people, go ahead and turn drip on, and in the future, you can turn it off so that money starts to drip into your wallet.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much again, Doc. And for everybody listening, make sure that you're not only just listening, but actually applying and implementing these gems that Dr. Hans dropped here today. So everyone, please stay safe, stay invested, and stay FYI fly. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you all for listening to FYI Fly, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI Fly Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.